Hello, I'm Edmund Fry, and I'm speaking to you from Rose Tree Cottage. Rose Tree Cottage is a famous English tea house in Pasadena, California. We've been here for 46 years, and in that 46 years, we've become very, very involved with a school in Kenya. And this school in Kenya is very close to Naivasha in a place called Longonot. We started up a foundation called Bloom Where Planted approximately 25 years ago. And throughout that foundation and in that time, we've been able to help many, many scores of children of any age with an education. These children are from extremely poor backgrounds, and most of them live in a mud hut community, no electricity, no water, no showers, no bathrooms, no kitchens. If they're doing homework, they're doing it with candles. And over the years, we've been able to send shipments of clothing and books and supplies through Rose Tree Cottage to help them. And we recently sent them 8,300 items on a ship, which has just arrived. The reason why we're doing this filming today is because there are some children that unfortunately do not make the grade to get into further education. So I'm proposing in this film that if we were able to find 93 friends here in America out there, and there's many of you, that could perhaps help out with $20 a week for 1 year, that would make enough money for us to give them 100% of that money that we get will go to the children and give us $93,000 to be able to educate 93 children just for 1 year. We could change these children's life and give them an opportunity like I had an opportunity when I came to America so many years ago. And I've been so fortunate. I married a wonderful woman, my wife Miriam. We've been married for 43 years, and together we founded this organization with a friend of ours called Nora. It's just the three of us. But those three people and 93 of you out there, if we together could handle this, we can change people's lives forever. Now let me introduce you to one of our co-founders, Nora.
Thank you, Edmund. Every year that our prospective students are graduating from Class 8, or as we know it, 8th grade, they write letters to ask for sponsorships. And I wanted to share some excerpts of these letters with you. I was born in the Samburu district. I remember very well about the past days of my life. It was in the year 2008, election violence, when my father told me to go and look after our cattle. From the field, I saw a mountain of smoke coming from the direction of our village. I immediately took our cattle home as fast as I could. My neighbors' houses were burnt. My mother told me the story as tears rolled down her cheeks. In the evening, when we were just about to go to bed, 2 masked men came into our house. My mother, my siblings, and I were told to get out. The men poured petrol over our house and took a match and burned it. After my father died, my mother was so confused she didn't know what to do next. But I came up with an idea to come to Naivasha. We didn't have a single cent as everything was lost in the fire and we were struggling. Well, they did go to Naivasha. Elizabeth was enrolled in our adopted primary school, and we were able to find her a sponsor, and she was able to begin high school and has graduated. And then a few years later, we received a letter from her brother, James. I am James, a pupil in primary school. First, I'd like to thank you very much, Bloom Where Planted, for having such a kind heart of helping those pupils who come from poor families. If everyone in the world followed your example, everyone could be okay. The reason for writing this letter to you is to kindly request for your sponsorship. I always put all my effort in studying because I know if I will make it, I will get my family out of poverty. And when James wrote this letter, he didn't know his scores would be as good as they were. He was the top child graduating that year, and he was sponsored to go on to secondary school. But he wanted us to know more about him. God gave me a talent, drawing. I was just 5 years old when something kept telling me to draw all the time. I need more practice and more skill in order to develop my talent. I hope you will accept my request to pay for my secondary school fees. God bless you for your charity. Well, James was sponsored to secondary school. He's still in secondary school. And one of our friends in Kenya, who's a premier artist, is giving him private lessons. And these are some of his first works. He had very few lessons when he did these. This year, we've received a letter from the youngest brother in the family, and we are going to send him on to secondary school. So even though this family had a difficult time, they have been helped, and they will be out of poverty because all of the children will be educated.
Thank you so much, Nora. I'd now just like to read you a little thought that I wrote up very recently when we thought about this situation with the 93 students. Because I shall pass through this world just once, any kindness that I can show any human being while I'm on this journey, I feel I should do it now. Certainly not put it off or neglect the opportunity to help a child of any age get an education, a trade, or a skill. Please, please help us give our Bloom children an opportunity. Thank you so much. And now, let me introduce you to my wonderful wife, Mary. Mary.
Thank you, Edmund. Well, you've heard from Nora about letters that we receive that are heart-wrenching, and I have another to share. This year there is a boy. This boy was number 15 in the class, and normally we might not be able to extend to that number for sponsorships. However, in looking over his application and letter, I learned that he was actually a young man of 20, not a boy of 14 or 15. Reading on, he was raised by a single father and started in kindergarten at the age of 11. He had difficulties with hearing and suffered in school because of it. He actually is deaf in one ear, but managed to score well enough to be in the top 25 of the 93 students. In his letter he wrote, "I tried to tell my parents to bring me to the doctor, but the salary they get is never enough to pay for the medical fees. This situation concerned me, and I had decided to sacrifice myself to live with one ear in order to give my parents good time to give my younger siblings their education. I am also a musician, and my music always goes according to the word. Mine is to sing by educating people on God's will." The letter went on with lyrics of a song he wrote, and I was in tears. Needless to say, we're entering this boy and his sister into a boarding school. We have decided to enter their brother, who also in the same class at age 17, finished primary school with them, into a trade school. These are 3 of the 93 reasons we need to raise $93,000 to help all of these children.
Thank you, Mary. That was wonderful. These are the letters, actually, of 93 children. And as I show you this book of letters and photos and lives of all these children, this is every single one. And I've read every single letter, every one of these children. We will be educating and giving them a trade and a new opportunity in life, an opportunity that they will never, ever have unless someone helps them. And Nora, Mary, and myself, with your great help, with just $20 a week for 1 year, will help these children and raise enough funds to be able to change their lives forever. Thank you so much for watching. We certainly will look forward to hearing from you as soon as you possibly can. Thank you again. Goodbye.
For just $20 a week, you can help a child bloom where they are planted.
Seeds. Washe.
Washe.
Sema thank you. you very much.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you.